So what's up, niggas? School is a scam. I mean, I didn't go to school, and here I am, living in my van, smoking my crack. I'm alright. I mean, I did fine in life. I got 3 children with 3 different women. I'm a big winner in this life. And it all started from not going to school. I'm just kidding. So, here's the thing. School is a scam. And I was talking with a friend about that just a few minutes ago. And I mean, I was thinking about that because, well, when I have my children, I wouldn't like them to go to school. 100% not this school. Like modern school, I wouldn't say like school at all. I think you might have some purpose on going to school if you have some specific kind of goals and things that you want in your life. But I think school is mostly for military, and here's why. So I was saying that with a friend, and he said like, oh yeah bro, but like I think it's better to not go to school, but you have that, you have kids of your age and stuff. But that's a lie. First of all, I mean, all my videos are improvised, so I'm gonna go back and forth and that's it. Doesn't matter. So yeah, first, that's a lie, because how can you learn from people from your age? You're obviously gonna learn from the teacher, but does the teacher really knows what he's talking about? Mostly, you know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, he has a degree, but a degree ain't worth no shit for me, A degree, like, oh yeah, obviously the National Education Board and everything from the United States, and that goes from pretty much most of the Western world, comes from the Rockefeller family, which don't have really the best interests. As I think John Ford said, we want a nation of workers and not a nation of thinkers. So that's the basic principle they teach in school. And some might argue, all right, you have different kinds of schools, different models, but it's pretty much the same. It's pretty much the same. It all goes to the origin of school. You have like the Greek schools that were a bit different, but modern school pretty much comes from Prussia. When the Protestants were like literating, I don't know, people, they were teaching how to read because of the Bible and stuff, and the Prussian king saw an opportunity of indoctrinating his population to die for him, to fight for him, and keep the military philosophy of Prussia. So I mean, and if you take a look on how schools work with like these punishments and all the way they put you there, they force you to have discipline and to learn schedules and stuff. I'm not saying that's worthless. I think that's worthless for someone who wants to have like a creativity or a creative or like inventive career or something. I mean, if you want to be like a soldier, oh yeah, that's great, but I don't want to be a soldier. I don't want my kids to be soldiers. So why would I put my kids in a militarized kind of environment? I wouldn't. And well, that's it. You have like even the uniforms. I know many places don't use uniforms, but well, where I come from, they use. In Europe, I see them using, and that's just another indicator of this militarized and even this kind of like slave making philosophy I see schools have, because in the end of the day, why are you wearing a uniform? Just to see you're like everybody else, you're like a mass. They are massificating society. And if you look to even like big genius and stuff, loads of them were homeschooled. Nikola Tesla, all the ancient Greeks like Alexander the Great, Aristotle, Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison is an interesting one because he went to school for 2 weeks and he said, I ain't taking this crap. My mom teaches me better. So he stayed with his mom. And the funny thing is that, obviously being homeschooled will give you more freedom to explore the world and to have your own thoughts. So, for like creative and inventive kind of, roles, that does make a lot more sense. So, I mean, yeah, that's what I think. Like, I think school is a big scam because the problem is not that it doesn't have any purpose. I think, all right, yeah, there is a purpose on being like a soldier or like a mess. Yeah, 100%. But they don't sell as that. They don't say like, oh yeah, come to school and you're gonna become like that. They say come to school and that's where it's giving you a future, and that's where it's fixing the problems of society and everything, and your kid's gonna be smart and everything. But that's just a fucking lie. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you were branding your product, like, let's say you have like a anti-baldness medicine. You say it's anti-baldness, but in fact what it does is, I don't know, it's fucking, I don't know, a heart kind of like medicine, What I mean is, you're selling something that has a purpose, but you're selling to the wrong, for the wrong purpose. I mean, I think there is a bad bias behind that from bad people and stuff, but in the end of the day, it's unethical anyways, and that's why I say it's a scam. But I go even further, like, I've seen many people, one guy in specific back in my country, back in Brazil. I've met him in a small town, and he was like one of the wisest people I've ever met. He would make a lot of observations on society and really deep things that I would never imagine before I talked to him. And this guy, he had an interesting childhood because he didn't went to school. He grew up in a hospital because he was sick or something. He was not like homeschooled. He was just living in the hospital. So he would make like observations that I never seen in my life. Like saying, for example, oh yeah, this person has his left leg broken, so he must have like a problem with his mother or something. I mean, I don't know if that's right or wrong, but it is a really interesting observation and something he developed only by observing, and having a kind of like, I don't think it's even natural to be grouping just with people from your age, because then that's what people say, oh yeah, you're surrounded. The memory of this cell phone is shit. But how, as I was saying, you're grouped with people from your own age, but that's an artificial grouping, because I mean, you're not being grouped by your interests, or most of my friends, they are not of my age. They might be younger, they might be older, but that doesn't really matter, because what group us is our mutual interests, and also the cooperation. Because I mean, it is not natural to be grouped in a way that you have basically people from just because they are from your age or from your neighborhood. Oh yeah, you might have some kind of social cohesion, but not necessarily. So I mean, I think it's pretty much not the best arrangement to do anyway with kids, So, and the main thing is, naturally, I think in a natural society, people would learn with their families. Like the familiar system, it's already make up to like, alright, you're gonna learn with your parents, grandparents, uncles, and even older cousins, and you're gonna teach and learn as well with your younger family members. But that's normal. That's like that's what would naturally occur. Maybe if you're like individually like tending to something different from your family, you might learn, like, let's say my family is from all fishmongers or something, or like fishermen, but for some reason I love cars. I have a real passion and desire that comes from my soul, from my individuality for cars. Maybe because I see my neighbor, he has cars, and I'm really fascinated for that. So we're right, of course, you can learn with him, you can learn with your neighbor, with your, with other people, but school doesn't give you that option. Like, you have the same things being taught to all kids. You have the same things being pushed out, in your throat, want you or not, want you your want your family or not, so I think there are loads of problems with school, but those are some of what I see, and just opening the eyes, of many people that kind of like overestimate school, because that's what I see all the time. I've been to a family like 1 month ago, big Catholic family, and all of them homeschooled, and they were completely fine. They had their friends from, their town. They have their natural, like, social skills that are developed. Finally go, maybe now. Fucking memory. Alright, so yeah, anyways, as I was saying, I don't think school is a natural arrangement. I don't think it's mostly beneficial, and modern school in specific. And other thing I was saying was about those things that you can only acquire. Like, there are many things that you cannot be born with. You can be heir of like a company, you can be heir of a title like a king or something, but you cannot be heir of something that you have to achieve. Like, for example, a priest is not born a priest. He has to conquer that status, of elite. Or a general, he's not born a general, he has to become a general. And what you see, I think, is a big decay, is that a word? Oh, I don't know, now it's a word. A big decay on these roles, because you don't have even the opportunity anymore. You don't have, like, for example, to become a sacerdote, or a big intellectual, not like this actual crap we have nowadays, or a general in the martial field of life. All of these would like be prepared, like, from really early ages. If you look to most of the great saints or like great scholars, they would always come from homeschooling, like St. Thomas Aquinas, or even in the military field, most through history were schooled by taught by their family. Even like George Patton, I think he was homeschooled as well. If you just research on the internet, you're gonna have loads of lists. And I don't think people are smarter nowadays than they used to be, I don't know, like 100 years ago. We certainly have more information, but are we more intelligent? Are we living in a better way? You know what I'm saying? In a more healthy or sustainable way. Not like the gay sustainability, but the real sustainability. Like, are we? I don't know, I don't think so. So yeah, anyways, I think school plays like a big role on that, and makes like big scars in society, especially, like, of course, yeah, I mean, if you're still watching this, I'm pretty sure you agree with a lot of stuff I said. So I'm not even saying about the modern school, like pushing gay propaganda and all these Marxist views, and especially in Brazil and Latin America, that's really strong, because of the intellectual elite of those countries, and that comes even from the familiar system and everything, that tend to be more more tending to Marxism anyways, more kind of like egalitarian and everything. So I mean, even in the rest. So yeah, I'm not even saying about that. I'm saying in school in general. Even the school of 100 years ago was already shit. I wouldn't put my kids in school anyway. Well, that's it. Just my thoughts. I try to make these videos in English because I have I feel I have a big difficulty expressing myself in English that I don't have in Portuguese. I don't have in Portuguese. My vocabulary is very, very, really good in Portuguese. That's another term I couldn't say in English, but like I can express myself really good, really well. I can formulate my ideas, so I like to make the videos in English. So I challenge myself to try to learn and make the same in English. That's the only reason why I have this channel in English, because my one in Portuguese do fine, and like people like it, people enjoy what I say, but I find a lot harder in English. Anyway, that's it. I still don't wash my hair for 4 months now. It looks fine.